back to basics. This is New Life for Jen, or or my YouTube name is candj1977. Sorry I am coming today looking like crap. I'm trying to prepare for the AC meet and greet and get stuff packed, so I'm doing this video early just so I can make sure to get it done. So today is, or for you guys watching, will be Friday, 8/17/2012. And the topic this week is about transfer addiction. I'll read you the question and then I'll give you my input. Transfer addiction or cross addiction. Have you developed an addiction to another thing since giving up food or bad foods during your weight loss surgery journey? If so, what are they? Are you worried about these cross addictions becoming a problem later in your journey? Okay, first and foremost, I'm a food addict. And I don't believe that addiction has went away yet. At this point, I think I'm just finding coping mechanisms of how to either do that, in a more healthier way, or also to figure out ways to curb it. And I would say that my food addiction comes from sweet things or sugary things. It's a struggle for me to totally cut those out of my diet right now. I will think about it all the time. I'll reason with myself on why it's okay to have it. If I don't have it, and it's not in my house or wherever, I will seriously contemplate sometimes on going out to get it. And the reason why I say it's an addiction and not just, say my routine or habit, it's because I have the same symptoms with cigarettes. I've been smoking since I was 14 or 15 years old. Probably 16, more heavy, due to the fact that at that time I was driving and, I could smoke in my car. And when I started smoking, it was in the early 90s, and smoking was still cool. And I'm so glad now that it's not the cool thing to do. I have a, going on a 15 and 16-year-old, and thank goodness they don't smoke. They think it's gross. None of their friends smoke, so it is becoming a less popular thing to do, which I'm very, very thankful for. So that is why I consider my food addiction almost as bad as my cigarette addiction. If you guys have been watching my channel, you guys know that I'm having a 360 body lift, and this has got to go. I called my physician. They're putting me on Chantix, and I have heard great things, and I've heard some side effects. I'm not really worried about it because in the long run it's going to be the healthier option. I mean, with anything we do, there's always a chance that other things could happen. Same thing with our weight loss surgery, so I am willing to take that chance. I want to be as healthy as possible for my 360, and I think I kept making excuses for myself on stopping this addiction of smoking. Like, oh, let's wait till your weight loss is over. And, I've been at goal now for way over 6 months. So it's like, what's your excuse now? Even my kids will be like, Mom, you said that was going to be done after you lost your weight. Well, here I am. Now my excuse sometimes to myself is, oh, I don't want to gain weight. And I just need to get over that and be thankful that I have a tool in place to help me not gain, hopefully. And also just, all the knowledge I've learned with this journey on how to control my weight, and hopefully I will be a success at quitting this addiction of smoking. I've read a lot about, cross addiction and stuff. I actually read about it before I had my weight loss surgery. I was never a binge eater, really, and I never was anorexic or bulimic or any of those things before I had surgery, even through high school. And for me, some of those are, to me, more serious things that maybe will have a stronger result of having a cross addiction. I think there's healthy cross addictions, and I think there's unhealthy cross addictions. When I got to about 160, I was probably like, 8 months post-op? I mean, I was on a clothing shopping spree every single week. I was addicted to it. Literally, I was like, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to buy that, and I just kept buying. And, I thought there for a while, oh my gosh, I've developed a transfer addiction to shopping. But now that I've come to a place now where I've been in the same size now for over 6 months, that has slowed down. You know, now I'm going to be getting into my winter wardrobe, and a lot of that stuff I bought last year, or at the beginning of this year, you know, because we're cold probably till March, and it was a size 2 or 4, so I don't have to rebuy winter clothes this year. You know, last year I was, you know, continually buying new things because I was going down. So I don't believe I ever had a shopping addiction. I was just so overjoyed and overwhelmed with being able to fit into a smaller size that I kept buying just because it made me feel good. But I don't believe that was an actual addiction, because now I enjoy going out and buying something, and I can go buy something for an occasion. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to go out and every day buy something. So I don't believe I have a shopping transfer addiction. Never been a big drinker, ever. So I don't have an issue with alcohol. I don't have an issue with drugs. So those two things, you know, I know alcohol sometimes they say is a big one for people. Sometimes I've heard of sexual addictions and things like that. You know, those aren't my issues. Gambling, no. But I do believe that it's because I'm still maybe addicted to food, and that is unhealthy. And I do believe that some people have an exercise addiction as well. And, you know, that is healthy to a degree, but when you take time away constantly, or you're doing hours and hours of exercise a day and you're actually physically taking away from your family, I think that's when it becomes a problem. I understand and I full-heartedly agree. When I first had this surgery, I told my husband, please give me a year to get myself straight. You know what I'm saying? You need that year. You need to focus. That's, you know, your prime time of getting the weight off. And I had told him, please give me this year to focus on myself. That's different. I'm saying, you know, where you're spending hours and hours daily and then, you know, 6-7 days a week with straight exercise, you're taking away from other things in your life, I believe. You have to balance and live life. I mean, it can't just be about exercise every day. It can't just be about, you know, being crazy on your, you know, you're calculating and you're tracking, and you have to learn, and that's what I've tried to balance in my own journey is food, exercise, and just regular life. I think we're all now going to be conscious of our actions. We're going to be conscious of the foods we're choosing. But I believe you have to learn to make sure that you're not allowing your personal relationships with your family, friends, be detoured from spending too much time on Facebook, spending too much time on YouTube, spending too much time exercising away from your family. I understand, you know, 30 minutes a day or an hour a day, whatever, but some people, I think they're going way overboard. And it's taking away from personal things in their life, and to me, that's considered an exercise, you know, addiction. You are taking away from something else to feed that part of you that's going to make you feel better. And I have not developed an exercise addiction per se. I love weights, but that to me is a choice. I choose that every day. If I don't do it, I don't freak out. It's not like I have to have it. But those are just some of my thoughts. I think just the most important thing, and, you know, Sherry subbed in for Melanie this week, and she had a great video on the description of addiction and a habit. So I think we need to make sure that a lot of the things that we're doing are hopefully good habits and not an addiction. Because you don't want to look back years, you know, to come and be like, man, I spent too much time doing that, or man, I worried too much about this, or I was addicted to this and just didn't realize it. So I think just being conscious and aware of your journey and what your triggers are, and finding different coping mechanisms. I mean, if food was your trigger and your addiction, you just have to find a healthier way to cope with that addiction. It's kind of like when they say, you know, once you're an alcoholic or a drug addict, you're always an alcoholic or drug addict. You're just in recovery. And I think that's where I'm at with my food. I'm in recovery from a food addiction. I will probably always be a food addict. It's just how much better I can deal with my stress and eating. So that's my take. Don't know if it could help anybody. I know it's been talked a lot about in the community, with alcohol especially, but that's my issues per se, and I hope everyone has a great weekend. Talk to you soon. Bye.